A basketball game is scheduled in South Philadelphia. They have to play it. The problem is, not a lot of guys available, so if you get there early enough, you might get a uniform. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the PHLY Sixers pregame show presented by Bet365 on this Wednesday. Still cold outside, by the way. Still very cold outside, but if you're heading to the arena or you're just sitting back watching us getting ready, there is a game to be played in South Philly, as mentioned. And it is going to be a very, very, as someone says right there in the chat, Papa says, this is going to be a weird one. Yes. Make sure we let you know, though, before we get started about our pregame presenter, which is Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Along with Rich Hoffman, I'm Devon Givens. Bree is here with us as well, as always. And all of you in the chat, great to see you. We'll check in with Derek and or Kyle if they're available before the game gets underway. And they have to endure it live in the building, driving in the cold, walking up to the door. As you said before, look, you guys walk to the door too. We just walk to a different door to get in. Yeah. We might leave a little later. And man, when you get out of there, it is freezing when it's this type of temperature.
This is Sicko's night, man.
Yes, yes, it is.
So I want everybody here who is lurking in the chat, I want you to tell us what you are looking forward to in tonight's game. Because, I mean, we are going to go like down the list by a lot, man. It's going to get weird. It's for the people who have fun, who can make their own fun. Anyway, tell us what you are excited about for tonight's game, because we'll talk about it probably. You know, we need some stuff to talk about. It still is an NBA basketball game, kind of. But yeah, it's gonna definitely be pretty weird tonight. And
wins matter for the Sixers. Look, the Wizards are 6-28, I think they are, something like that.
6-28.
6-28. The 76ers, we already know where they are at 14-20, and still trying to build up all of those wins and get back into the conversation of the play-in tournament. But the Wizards are really bad, everybody. So as you see on our thumbnail, our graphic there, and it just simply says, get it done. By the way, before we get to how shorthanded the Sixers are, when you look at our graphic and you see that Tyrese Maxey is there, not unusual. We have Bilal Coulibaly as the other guy next to him. Rich, all right? How far? I'm a fan, and I know you are for what he does defensively as a young player. We'll see how good he is. And Kyle likes to joke about my fandom of Bilal Coulibaly, but this was by necessity tonight because of who's not available for them when it comes to their injury report, because Jordan Poole is out. You have Kyle Kuzma before the game who was questionable. And right now I'm looking at it and Kyle Kuzma is available now. Okay, so is Bub Carrington, the rookie, so we get a chance to see him for the first time this season. But Malcolm Brogdon out. Johnny Davis, who hasn't really done anything, kind of disappointing his career.
Extremely disappointing.
Hasn't done
kind
anything.
Disappointing.
Alexander Sarr, the number 2 overall pick, he's out. So they are all beat up, and they are 6-28. Rich, just win is our first topic there on our rundown. If they lose to this basketball team, you and I might go nuclear tonight.
We might lose our sanity. I'll tell you that right now. Devon,
but not our jobs.
No,
we won't do that.
We won't do that. We'll make sure to keep it PG. So Sixers are without, you mentioned who the Wizards are without. Sixers are without Kyle Lowry. Okay, that's not a big deal. We know they're already without KJ Martin and Jared McCain. That's been the case for a long time. And they're also without Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Andre Drummond as well. And they are 11-point favorites tonight with this group of players. Man, that is impossible.
That's how bad Washington is.
Well, and they just played a game last night, I believe.
Yes, they did. They lost like 135-110 or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, this is going to get weird, man. This is going to be some 2013, 2014 process level, getting weird with it on both sides. Some of the lineups tonight are going to be hideous. But hey, we're here to watch it.
All right, so it is. It is going to be hideous, and they just need to win this basketball game.
Got to win tonight.
We talked about this.
Al Davis, just win, baby.
Just win, baby. That's all you have to do. So we talked about this on Monday before the game and certainly after, where we expected them to play a little much better, honestly, against the Phoenix Suns, who then, by the way, went on Tuesday night and lost to the Charlotte Hornets. Winona made sure she DM'd me to tell me about that because she was frustrated that happened.
I get it. It really put that Monday stinker into perspective. That Suns team is pretty bad.
Yes.
The Sixers,
which is what we talked about. They let them hang around. You didn't put your foot on them and just stomp them into the ground, and you let them hang around. They got it going. Charlotte, on the other hand, caught them on the second night of a back-to-back. Bradley Beal only had 10 points. Devin Booker found his shooting, but they lost that basketball game. So Winona was right. She was absolutely right about that, which makes it even more frustrating.
100%.
But it makes it even more frustrating, to your point, pregame and then postgame, of how they needed to win that basketball game, and they did not. They let another opportunity during this 5-game stretch, starting with Brooklyn on Saturday, going into that game against Phoenix. Now you have tonight, Washington. Winnable. Even with Zion Williamson back doing his 360s, his windmills, looking like Zion Williamson. In that game, you have the Pelicans here on Friday, and then you have the Orlando Magic. And as we called it, players come back for their first game healthy against the 76ers. It may not be his first game, but Paolo Banchero should be back for that game against the Sixers on Sunday. Oh, by the way, the Eagles are playing in a big game that night as well. So with all of that, Rich, this once again, with the way Washington is here, this should. Bet365 has them 11-point favorite. This should be a double-digit win over this terrible, and the Sixers are not good, a terrible basketball team, the worst record in the NBA at 6-28.
Not only the worst record in the NBA, the worst offense statistically and the worst defense. When you double dip like that, like usually the worst team in the NBA is hideous on one side of the basketball, right? Mm-hmm. They just have a dreadful offense, but they're somewhat respectable in defense. 23rd, 24th, something like that. Not good, but not as bad as they are. No. The Wizards have pulled the double where they are that bad on both ends of the floor. Should win this game, but so here's a question for you, Devon. And I appreciate Mary in the chat saying that we're both wearing all black, foreshadowing a potential destructive night. It's funny. It kind of reminds me of, do you remember the Wizards showed up at the playoff game?
Yeah.
The one year? I think it was against Boston.
Oh, was that
was it the John Wall
Wizards? That was the
Wizards?
John Wall, Bradley Beal, young Bradley Beal Wizards, yes.
And it was their funeral instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
They actually didn't.
Yeah, bad job by them.
Yeah. Oh, well. So, Mary, if the Sixers have a rough on the night, well, we'll be appropriately dressed in the postgame.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for you just right away. Over under Tyrese Maxey shots tonight. I'm going to say over under
24.5.
Oh, over.
Exactly.
Over. I was going to set it at like 28, 29.
Okay. Yeah, I'm over. Yeah, I'm well, 28, 29 if you go in that direction.
His arm better be sore by the end of the night.
The problem is
he's going to need to ice it down.
He's going to have 31 on 29 shots. And that could be the problem where we'll focus on that they won and he got the 31. But the efficiency, it needs to be better.
It needs to be better. Hopefully, somebody mentioned that he could score 50 tonight.
Habib.
Do you remember?
Career high 55.
Well, the game against Utah, I'm thinking of on the road last year when they were super shorthanded, he just got a bunch of shots up and he was on fire that night, and they get an unlikely road win that night. Now, obviously, this is going to be a much easier team to play against, a bad defense, those things. Look, the efficiency doesn't have to be crazy because somebody's going to have to soak up these possessions.
Kelly Oubre.
Well, we'll get to my my Bet365
okay.
best bet.
I
think Mr. Oubre may be involved in that. But I think Maxey is he better be ready to shoot tonight.
Sean Bold just said 29 shots is crazy.
Well, get ready for crazy,
Get
Sean.
ready for it because Sean, it's most likely gonna happen for him. But no, you're right, man. I mean, look, the efficiency part, it's not all that important because they just need to get wins however they get wins. But when you bring up that Utah game, which you're right, it was fantastic in that one. We also saw games where he had a lot of time for that type of game where he was the headliner for the Sixers and did not have those, which led us to the discussion of how poorly he was in those non-Embiid games for that stretch, which had us questioning, can he carry a team during that time? And right now it's the same thing where we still have those questions. While we still like the player, we still put him very highly rated in the NBA, especially as a young guard in today's league, that he is one that has had a lot of time here because Embiid has only played 12 games. Well, he's played so much more runway there for the 76ers, and he has not had that type of game that you're talking about.
No.
He's had more of the ones that are less efficient with those, the 29 shots and ending up with 30 to 31 points off of those high volume of shots, but not efficient nights.
It's bad because this is the type of game where you might develop some bad habits and you just start gunning and taking bad shots. Stuff you would not want him to do whenever Joel Embiid gets back, whenever Paul George gets back. I know, they're hurt all the time. I agree. But in that situation, when you are closer to full strength, you would want him doing different things. But Devon, I mean, tonight, you just got to let it fly, man.
Yes. Squeeze all those shots off, man.
Seriously.
Unload. Look, and we talk about it in jest, of course, basketball terms. Unload the clip, man.
Seriously.
Fire him away.
I mean, if this was a game last season, the Sixers would have had Embiid, and it would have been a 3-quarter game for him and Maxey. There would have been 2 20-5 runs in there. And Embiid would have barely broken a sweat. He would have had 44 points or something like that.
Yep.
That's not the case tonight.
No.
They're going to need Tyrese. They're going to need Kelly. They're going to need Yabu. They're going to be soaking up a lot of offensive possessions tonight. Now, luckily, you're playing the 30th ranked defense, so you have a chance to create some more efficient shots. There's no who was guarding him the other night? There's no Ryan Dunn guarding him on this team. There's no help on the backside like that. So hopefully Tyrese can get going early. Be nice to see a couple go through the rim, go through the hoop, the first few minutes, and then him have a nice night because the Sixers need it and he needs it really bad.
All right, we need to find out how else they get this win. Who else should have a big night for the 76ers? We'll talk about everyone else who is available for both the shorthanded Sixers and the shorthanded Wizards. We'll do all of that when we get back right here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show presented by Bet365. All right, and we got to start off by telling you, of course, about our good friends here on the pregame show, simply letting you know all about the great people from Shady Rays. And with Shady Rays, as we talk about it, I heard Rich actually talk about it a little bit earlier on the Eagle show, just to let everybody know, just to be clear, we all support one another and watch all the shows and all. And Shady Rays, right now, even though it is winter, that sun can blare down. When you get that sunny day, when it's snowing, hitting off of that snow right into your face, you need that Shady Rays. You need that protection from that glare, especially when you are driving. So get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. I am one, and Derek and Kyle and Bree and Rich we all are some who can sit here and raise our hand and say we are one of those 300,000 people that rate 5 stars based on how good the product is with Shady Rays. And Shady Rays, if your shades ever go missing, you can take an unexpected hit from time to time. You don't have to worry about it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. And if you don't love your shades, you can exchange them for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days, and there's no risk when you do shop. Their item and their team always has your back with personal and fast support. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving the best deal overall this season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use code PHLY for 35% off those polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That is Shady Rays. Once again, head to shadyrays.com.
And Devon, now let's talk about our friends at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Did all of that holiday shopping leave you with a credit card balance that's weighing you down? Yeah, that's happened to me before for sure.
It's the worst.
But think about this. What if you could pay off that balance faster and with zero interest until 2026? It's true, because TrueMark Financial is offering zero interest on balance transfers for 12 months. So all of your payments can go towards reducing your balance and not just covering your interest. Here's the play. Transfer your existing balance from another institution to a TrueMark Financial Visa credit card and take advantage of this amazing offer. But you only have a few months to do this. This is an early 2025 offer. You have to apply by February 28th, 2025. So visit TrueMark.com/compare for full details and to apply today. TrueMark Financial, a federally insured credit lender by NCUA, an equal opportunity lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to approval, and a 3% balance transfer fee applies.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers pregame show presented by Bet365, a barn burner in South Philly tonight. Sixers hosting the Wizards.
The sickos, they're just rubbing their hands together, just laughing like the Joker, wanting more.
Tom Jackson says, Maxey shot more than 30 shots 3 times this year. 2 out of the first 3 games of the season, and the last time was on November 27th.
That's why I think the line is fair.
2 of the games were overtime.
Let's go with 28.
28?
I mean, hey, maybe he starts
I said 24 and a half, but Kelly Oubre is going to get how many? If Maxey gets, let's say 26. If Maxey gets that high of a number,
I'm banking on Oubre.
Where's
getting
Kelly?
a big number.
Yeah.
Big number for Kelly tonight.
Yeah, so exactly. So
big number. Come on, Kelly.
Those guys are going to get their shots for sure. So
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Come on.
They'll do that. Let's get to our super chat also. We don't want to ignore that from Puppers. We mentioned Puppers a little bit earlier. We appreciate it, Puppers.
Yeah,
Embrace the madness. This will be one of the best, one of the basketball games of all time tonight.
At least make us laugh. Make us laugh a few times. It will be one of the basketball games.
So we should have some WTF moments of the night tonight.
We might lead it. That might be the A block of the last game.
Yeah.
We might lead with the WTF moments and then maybe do a little basketball analysis in like the 40-minute mark, probably something like that.
A little bit.
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, it's going to be one of those games. Are there any other games tonight going on?
I
don't think so.
Not necessarily. Not as big as this one.
I think this is the marquee game in the NBA tonight. Right?
Yes, it is. on TNT or ESPN, whatever one it is tonight. No question. Yes, we all know that OKC and Cleveland will be facing off tonight. Those guys.
I mean, I don't think there's any comparison.
30-win teams there. They have nothing on this basketball game. All right, man.
Eric Gordon's starting the night.
Shorthanded tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers. You mentioned it, but we do have the starters, so we will give you the starters here. And Kyle did ask the question yesterday to both Derek and I and Bree of who we thought would be that 5th starter. And we all agreed that it would be Eric Gordon with the list. So here we are. Sir. And Yabusele, of course, at the 5. And you have Caleb Martin, Kelly Oubre also in the front court. Eric Gordon in the back court with Tyrese Maxey. I don't think this has been a starting lineup this year. I will look it up. But your thoughts on this starting 5 for the Philadelphia 76ers?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right, with all these guys out?
It seems like a lot of the people are they're pining for Adam Bonus, who is not in this starting lineup.
He is not, but I'm fine with him coming off the bench and let Yabu. Yabu's been fine at the starting 5 position, so I'm okay with it.
Look, Adam Bonus is going to play tonight.
Without question.
I mean, he's honestly going to get to play as much as he wants. It's just, will he commit fouls too quickly to be taken out of the game? But, yeah, I mean, look, those are 5 of your somewhat NBA players, I guess. And in EG's case, that would be the one guy. But, that's 4/5 of that's 3/5 of the other starting lineup. So
yeah, so I'm looking at the every version of the Sixers starting lineup tonight. There are 21 different versions of the Sixers starting lineup this season.
They have not played enough games for that to be a thing.
And Gordon started the first game of the season, or started one of the games of the season, but that was with Andre Drummond at the 5. So right away, this is the first time we are seeing this particular lineup as a starting lineup tonight for the Sixers. So Maxey, Oubre, Yabusele, Martin, George. Yeah, this is the very first one.
And I think this lineup works offensively. It's like we were talking about the other night. Yabu, he'll get on the 3-point line. He made 2 threes, I think, in the first quarter the other night.
Fast.
Get him running the 2-man game with Maxey. Kind of quieted down after that, but certainly can make that shot. And then once the defense commits to him, he can pump fake and then get it in the lane or score and all those things. The question is, can it hold up defensively? Against the Wizards, it should be able to hold up defensively. There's no Kevin Durant on this team. Devin Booker's playing pretty bad, but there's no Bradley Beal. Mm-hmm. There used to be a Bradley Beal on this team.
Yeah.
Not tonight, though.
No.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Now, so where's their offense going to come from? Kyle Kuzma is available, so he's obviously going to be one of them. Koulibaly, we mentioned, he's available as well. Bub Carrington, we haven't seen him yet. as a rookie in this league. So where's their offense going to come from? And you already talked about they're the worst, one of the worst in the NBA at offense, and they're one of the worst at defense.
No, they're the worst.
The worst, sorry, in both categories. So with them being the worst, where's theirs going to come from? Listen, that's their problem. The Sixers need to take advantage of it being their problem. Jump on this team early, get some early scoring going fast, get out in transition, rebounding the basketball, number one, and not letting some of these young guys get in there, collect those loose balls, and getting those second chance opportunities. Not that they are going to convert them, but you need to just get yours and take it the other way and do what you need to do and not allow this team, as we talked about, hang around with any of these others. They got blown out for a very good reason last night. They should get blown out again tonight.
They should. You know who I am weirdly worried about having a big game for the Wizards tonight? And this isn't based on anything except my feeling. I think Valanciunas could have a big night against
trying to get traded,
the smaller Sixers.
He's trying to get traded.
I could see him just doing those so slow, those post moves and dunking with that big beard. Yeah,
missing quick second jump, get up there, get that offensive
just
rebound.
Because the Sixers are so undersized. That's a guy I'm worried about. I mean, Corey Kispert, he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. No Brogdon tonight. Like not having Poole or Brogdon, those are two guys who would really scare me, right? Those guys can just increase the variance. Now, Jordan Poole, when he's bad, is like the worst player in the league. But, you know, if he had a hot shooting night, he could be somebody that the Sixers have trouble stopping. Yeah, I don't know where they're going to get their offense from. But you know what? Both coaches tonight, I believe it's Brian Keefe is the Wizards coach now.
Is. Yeah.
He's kind of a guy who, you know, when you see him on the sidelines, you're like, oh, that guy. He's been an assistant coach for a while. I didn't know his name until he got elevated to this job. He and Nick Nurse have some similar questions tonight of where they're going to get the scoring from. I do think with Tyrese Maxey and a little bit with Kelly Oubre, little Kelly Oubre revenge game tonight against one of his former teams. Had another revenge game the other night against the Suns as well.
Yes, sir.
Nick Nurse might have a couple of cleaner answers than Brian Keefe has, but you know, it's a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, and he's running out here tonight for the starting lineup. Brian Keefe is for these Washington Wizards. Valanciunas at the 5, as we know. Kyle Kuzma also there. And then you have the young guys of Carrington, Coulibaly, and Guerschon George, who we haven't talked about, the kid from Miami. So very young.
I like Coulibaly.
Very young. Yeah, I mean, look, the defensive profile is there. Very athletic.
Can't shoot,
but he does impact the game. He can defensively impact the game.
He's a weird player too because he rebounds really well for his size, right? Yeah. He's kind of one of those players. But yeah, he's gonna have to figure out how to shoot the ball. Played with Wemby in France on the same team. He's like a perfect. I mean, the Wizards are honestly the Sixers from 2013, 2014. Like Michael, what's his name? What's the GM's name? Michael Winger? Is that his name?
Is Winger or Singer? One of the two.
One of those two. No. Mike Singer is he's a reporter for the Denver Post.
All right, there you go.
I think it's Winger. Whatever. He has turned into Sam Hinkie with better or worse publicity, depending on how you think about it. I would say better publicity because nobody's really paying attention to him in the same way that people were paying attention to Sam Hinkie. They really kind of said, okay, we're going to finally tank here. Leonsis was a guy who always chased the 8th seed, the 7th seed for a long time, and they stink. There's some pain here early on, and you have a guy like Alex Sarr, who's basically the Nerlens Noel of this team. Just has no idea what he's doing.
No.
Just go out there, play a bunch of minutes.
Yep, get some run.
Miss some shots, that's fine.
Number 2 overall pick. Nobody's complaining about you because nobody's paying attention to what's happening in Washington except for you are that bad. So he gets to, you know, make some mistakes, a lot of mistakes, and get things right. And it feels weird talking about them because you just get that feel, at least I do, that it's going to take a long time for them to be good. They've been right there in the middle for a very long time, and even though they are now rebuilding, they've been rebuilding organically because they've just been bad. And now, even with these young players and all, it's going to take a long time for this team to be relevant anymore in the Eastern Conference.
But I do like that they're trying something different. I mean, it's going to come down the lottery luck, right? Like, do they get the Cooper Flag or Dylan Harper at the top of the draft? Or, you know, maybe it's the kid from Illinois, a few picks after that, and that kid turns out to be a star, something like that. But,
sure,
you know, I think these next 2 years are considered good years to be bad. There are multiple players. What's the kid's name? Debonsa in the next season I'm sure they're going to be
going
just
to BYU with our buddy K.
Yeah.
Young, Kevin Young.
KY
Nice pull, man.
KY's got some NIL.
Yes,
Who knew?
he does.
I remember when he was like the 6th assistant coach for the Sixers,
I remember
right?
he was with the G League.
Moving on up.
With the Delaware 87ers. They weren't even a blue coach yet. They were the 87ers.
Anyway, I think the Wizards, this is a good time to be bad, but these seasons are hard to get through when you know you're going to lose all these games. So,
absolutely.
But hey, look, they're also hard to get through when your star doesn't play 64% of the games or whatever.
Which is why the 76ers
Hopefully that changes everything.
That's why the 76ers need to blow this team out tonight and make it pretty easy. Sixers made a move yesterday, waiving Pete Nance.
Poor Pete.
Yeah, not surprised. But now that's two. He was a two-way player, of course, but that's one. And we already know about the roster spot that Derek, Kyle, and I were talking about. Rich, you've talked about it a lot. That's still open. And the 76ers now move on from him as a two-way player. We've discussed maybe if Justin Edwards does enough. We has his converted at the end of the year, like Ricky Council, the fourth, had his last season, and Jeff Doughton is the other two-way player. Would you like to see them do something here with a roster spot of a guard, maybe a two-way wing, and just go out there and fill that void?
Yes. I mean, Derek talks about it all the time. It's
makes
only
no sense.
Josh Harris's pockets. That's all it is. And they don't have enough guards on this team, man. You know, I think for a while we thought, okay, they need a power forward. They need a power forward. No, man.
Yabusele,
when Jared McCain is hurt, like they actually need another guy who can dribble and just get you into your offense at like a replacement level.
Yeah. Yeah, Yabusele has figured that part out where they don't need a power forward anymore.
No, it's fine.
Not more than you need another guard. And
it's not fine, but it's better than your guard situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pete Nance, sorry, man, but
seemed like a good guy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm glad he hit that three on the road.
Yeah, that was
his
cool.
first three in the corner on the road. All right, Bree, let's get to our Bet365 pick segment. Our picks brought to you by Bet365. Never ordinary. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Let's run these, Bree. Mine, Adam Bonus.
Oh, wow.
Adam Bonus, 4.5 rebounds.
Look at those names on that parlay.
The fact that
this is the sickest parlay I've ever seen.
Unbelievable. So Adam Bonus over 4.5 rebounds, and Eric Gordon to hit over 1.5 threes. What do you make of my same game parlay that you can put up there? What was that, Bree? Plus 220 or plus 230 that we had? Plus 220, and you can get the odds boost at Bet365 right now of 30% on any basketball game tonight. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. But what do you think of my same game parlay? Adam Bonus and Eric Gordon. Goodness gracious.
I mean, you could have said any names, and I would say, yeah, sure, why not? Right? There's a lot of shots, there's a lot of rebounds, there's a lot of threes to go around the night that would not normally be there. So sure, Adam Bonus and Eric Gordon, yeah, go for it.
Why not? I mean, there are going to be enough rebounds.
Sure, there's going to be a lot of missed shots.
He was active the other day.
It's going to be like a game from the 60s.
And Vic says, this parlay, oh my God, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And we wanted to also go away from our normal Tyrese Maxey, Yabusele, get away from that a little bit.
This is going to be like a game from the 60s where Oscar Robertson got those rebounds and assists so easily because they're just running up and down the floor.
No question.
Missing shots.
No question. And Bree, let's get to Rich's. Rich, yours was.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, sickos. Kelly. Go get him, Kelly. Go get him. He had 25 plus points against the Suns the other night, and now Paul George isn't there. The left hand is feeling good, Devon. Coming off the injured list. Kelly, go get it tonight, man.
Fire it up.
I was thinking about doing Kelly 30 points. I think that was like plus 1,000 or something like that.
Can we get 230 plus tonight?
This is easy. This is easy. Kelly's getting 25 in his sleep tonight.
Can we get 230 plus? Both he and Maxey get 30?
Sure.
All right, that is our
cook up some nasty parlays.
Bet365 pregame pick segment brought to you by Bet365. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. That is bad. Really bad. Eric Gordon, Adam Bonus in a parlay. But we're going to hit tonight. So tail it.
We're hitting all three of those.
But tail it responsibly. All three of those. And don't forget about the other not important game, OKC in Cleveland.
Oh, forget about that one.
Yeah, you know, they're not on our level.
There's real basketball being played in Philadelphia tonight.
They are not on our level.
Real hoops.
All right, that'll do it for us here on the pregame show. We don't know what we're going to be talking about postgame, But we're going to be here.
It will be something, though.
To discuss something. And our pregame show, once again, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. For Rich, Bree, I'm Devon. All of you, thank you as always for hanging out with us. Come back with us post-game, Sixers, Wizards. It's going to be a fun one from South Philly, and we'll be talking about something. We'll have Rich's 3 takeaways. We'll have Derek and Kyle from the arena, and we'll discuss, we hope, the 15th victory of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll talk to you after the game. Enjoy. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.